So I almost forgot that on my 30-day recap video, I was going to be uploading 2 videos a day. Given the circumstances, I did miss the first day of December, but it just occurred to me that I'm like, shoot, I really do want to stick to the 2 videos. So this video is a little bit random. Pretty much I wanted to talk about the whole Yu-Gi-Oh meta. I am a very old player. I'm an ancient player. I'm not as ancient, but I am pretty old. I believe the Yu-Gi-Oh card game was released around the early 2000s. I was definitely a 4th grader because I remember when they released the Yugi deck and the Kaiba deck. And this was a very long time ago. But yeah, we're talking like, yeah, early 2000s. But shoot, I don't even know what grade it was anymore. But anyways, yeah, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh competitively back in 2008. Yeah, around 2008. I would play with my friends. I would go to local areas. There was this library called Florence Library where a lot of duelists will come and meet from all over the place in Los Angeles. You'd get people coming from Compton, Southgate, downtown, East LA, Downey, all over the place, man. People would travel. Back when it was a lot easier to be able to travel in the buses and just take some free rides on the train station. But yeah, pretty much I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh before it was this whole before even when I really got into it, that's when they barely introduced synchros. I didn't play too much back before the synchros. It was I would just collect and just build random decks, but it was never competitive until the synchros came out. But then shortly after the XCs, I stopped playing, and then they came out with the links. But pretty much I've seen how the metagame is. I've downloaded Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and I seriously tried to get into the game, but it's not what it used to be. I guess you could say that maybe I'm just too stupid to be able to enjoy the game for what it is now. I don't really like the fact that literally every turn can take up 10 minutes up until like your opponent is complete with their turn. And the thing is that it's become, because back then when I used to play, there used to be decks where you would refer to them as FTK or OTK. So obviously FTK, which was first turn kill, and then there was OTK, which was 1 turn kill. But these decks were very limited. There was barely any decks that really had that kind of style of play. And honestly, sometimes it would be luck. Like there was the Spell Burner deck. You guys probably don't know what that is, but pretty much it consisted of the magical library where you would run nothing but pure spells. And the idea was to have the magical library in your hand, and then you'd be able to lock in and equip it with Broken Bamboo, shoot, and then activate Golden Bamboo and just keep drawing and drawing. And then essentially the whole point was to be able to build all these spell counters. And I think you were using Tempest Magician, so it had an infinite amount of spell counters that it'd be able to collect. And pretty much you would remove it until you would remove all the spell counters once you had enough to be able to like pretty much burn out their whole life points. And then you had the deck out deck where you would run like Needleworm and stuff like that. Yeah, just like back then you were able to like have duels that were taking multiple turns before you actually met your victory or you even lost. There was always moments where you'd be able to come back. The way I've seen the gameplay now, it's who can activate their effect Veiler first and then activate their Maxi, and just not even so much interrupt your opponent's turn. Pretty much you just want to be able to complete your turn without having to be stopped completely. Like you can still be interrupted by a few of the hand traps that they would use, but you could still be able to win the game. It was really, I don't know, just the way the whole gameplay works now. It's every deck is now a 1 turn kill or even a first turn kill. I guess what I'm saying is that I really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh back when it would take multiple turns and different types of styles to be able to like combos to be able to win the game. But now it's definitely different. I'm not really too hot on it. I'm not a big fan of the way it works now. I think it's just a little too quick in the sense, and I don't think you could really enjoy the game as much as you can. You used to have decks where they would have the one turn kill, but you'd be able to interrupt it, and then you'd have to survive another turn or a couple of turns, but it wasn't so detrimental to the sense that like you could just immediately lose. And then they would have to do all of these thousands of combos to be able to bring all these different monsters out in the field. And you have all these links that you're constantly using now. I don't even think synchros matter anymore. They probably do still use a few from what I remember. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess for me, I liked the long part of it. It felt more like chess in a card game versus just trying to get to the first victory. I didn't really see the enjoyment on it. But yeah, that's just my style of gameplay. I'm not very happy with the new Yu-Gi-Oh! But to each is their own. If you guys agree with me, hopefully some of you do. I would like to see a little bit more of older meta styles coming back, but I honestly don't expect that to happen. It's like with the new builds, maybe create this Highlander form. And what I mean by Highlander, that's the term we would use for Hearthstone whenever you would just run one copy of each card. But yeah, just maybe there's some kind of difference or something that they can do, but it's just Yu-Gi-Oh! The way it is. I just collect my cards. And yeah, I don't want to sound redundant, but it's like I'm not a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I haven't tried that one. Don't really want to. I like to play physical copy in person. But I think it would be nice to be able to see a little bit of that comeback where it took multiple turns for you to win, or to actually combat with your opponent and actually have that mental wrestling versus who has the right cards in their hand, the right hand traps, and to be able to interrupt our opponent before they can actually finish what they needed to do. But yeah, I think that's all I really want to talk about. Just wanted to rant about the whole new Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. Maybe I'll start something up, a little bit of old school retro duels, try to form some community out of it, but that's about it. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you guys think the same or whatever you guys think, just comment below. And yeah, I'll see you guys till next time.